Hello! It's been a really long time since I've done a vlog, but it is time to do a new episode of the JF's vlog, and the reason for that is because I need to talk to you about something super important, which is the balance between business and education. And is there a balance? Let's talk about that. How to balance business and education. This is one of the things that really concerns me, and I think a lot about this because I do run a business, but this is a business that provides education. So what should be the priority? What should be the bottom line? To provide great education even if that costs business, or to provide great business even if that means to sacrifice some of the quality of the education. Let me explain this further. When it comes to running a business, there are a bunch of decisions that one must make in order to protect the business and make sure that it continues to grow, or at least to stay steady and healthy. Now, some of those decisions might be counter-education. Let me explain. One thing that a lot of learning centers do, that being music academies or dance schools or martial arts places, they do group lessons. Now, this works great for a bunch of stuff, and we do host a couple of group classes here at the Leeds Music Academy, for example. I run 2 group classes here. I do Sunday workshops for drummers only, and this is a very topical kind of class. Every week we talk about a specific topic. And then I also run the music lab, which is a class on how to play in a band. So by definition that class has to be a group class. Then we also have a guitar lab, and we have a class for preschoolers, basically students who are too young to learn an instrument but old enough to learn about music and rhythm, etc., etc. And because we are also focused on the social aspect of it and cognitive development, then for sure that should be a group class. Now, 90% of what we do is private lessons because we do believe that our focus is to develop each individual individually. I do understand, and I'm not trashing group lessons, by the way. I think that they are a good thing. They have their benefits and advantages. However, many schools go overboard with that, and they end up just, I'm sorry and I'm just gonna say it, they end up just milking the cash cow. That means that they just try to shove as many kids in a room as possible and basically provide overpriced babysitting services. That might sound harsh, but I've been there, and as a teacher and as a father, I loathe these places. Why is this relevant? Because it is important that as educators we understand where the balance is, and if there is a balance. For me and for our teachers here, education comes first. I would rather leave money on the table, as I do all the time, and provide great education. For example, for a year I hosted maybe 10 drum clinics, and not with any of those drum clinics I made any money. 0. I lost money with every single one of those, but the amount of value that we provided was priceless. Of course, I had to make a business decision, which was to stop hosting drum clinics for a while. So we're not doing any of those now because we need to focus on actual education for locals and continuous education. So that was my decision. My concern is that when a lot of people run music schools and they forget the bottom line. They run a school, but their focus is solely on sales, so they even stop thinking about lessons and content and results. And they think about, we need to provide a service and how many sales we make and what's the profit, and I get it, it's a business, but that just can't be the bottom line. I saw this the other day online. This is the director of a music school saying The issue with retention and low retention numbers is that many teachers have high expectations and parents have low expectations when it comes to their children. It's the teacher's job to lower their expectations and just meet the parents and students where they are and where they feel comfortable. Okay, I can't stress enough how infuriating this is. This logic is what's ruining education. We are lowering standards because we must make people comfortable. No. Education is about making people uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are, the more challenged you are, the more under pressure you are, the more you outperform yourself. You have to pull it off. That expression exists for a reason. You have to pull it off because it's effort. It requires stretching. It requires a little bit of struggle. So what is important is that we as educators make things very clear. I ask you, if you are a teacher, please make your expectations clear. Don't expect them to guess what your expectations are, but don't meet them in the middle. Don't lower your bar just to make a couple more sales. That's ridiculous, and you're providing yourself, your school, and your students a disservice. So if there is a balance between business and education, the balance is that you have to prove your worth, and that's going to translate into business. But at the end of the day, your worth is directly correlated to your students' success, to their results, to their accomplishments, not how many sales you've made. Get that right.